Let me switch gears and ask you about the other roles of the Treasury. And of course, you are very integral in terms of following the money as it relates to terrorism.
There's domestic finance, there's international finance, and a big part of what we do is around combating terrorism and fighting terror and using sanctions. Those are very, very important tools that we have in the Treasury, and that's something I spent a lot of time in my first 2 weeks. I start the day off every day with the presidential security briefing, just the same intelligence that he gets, and the sanctions and what we're doing to combat terrorism is a big part of what goes on in this building.
In fact, when you were right at the beginning of the job, you had to add people to the sanctions list in Venezuela.
I did.
Yes.
For first day on the job, I announced the kingpin sanctions, and I showed up at a press conference in the White House. And, you know, that was something that this team had been working on for a long period of time. It was a lot of work, but we are committed to using the tools that we have. And I'll also tell you, I've had a lot of calls with my counterparts in all different governments, and we got a lot of support for these programs. We work very closely with a lot of different countries.
I don't know if I mentioned this to you in the past, but I collect signed currencies. And I'm pretty excited to get your new currency. When are you expecting to see your John Hancock right there?
I think it's going to take a few months until we get my name on the currency, but we will give you one of the first ones and sign it.
That's great. Thank you so much.
As you can see, all the portraits that line the hall of all the different secretaries.
That's such history, and you're the 77th Treasury Secretary.
I am. It's very exciting.
Wow. What does that do to you in the morning when you walk in and you see you are amongst the incredibly leading people who put our country together?
Well, I realize the responsibility of this job. It's a great honor, but it's also a lot of responsibility. Right. And you realize that as you walk down these halls. And
here's Alexander Hamilton.
Indeed.
Were you a history buff in any way? I mean, when you come here, obviously there's an incredible history, but tell me how it feels to you.
Well, Alexander Hamilton is just, you know, an extraordinary figure as it relates to the Treasury, and he's just a legend here. And not only do I have the pleasure of looking at him every day as I go into my office, but he is above the fireplace in my office looking down over me as he's looked at many other secretaries in the past.
So much has been done in this building. I mean, we were talking in the room that we were talking with after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, this was the White House.
This was, and it's right next to the White House. So one of the great parts of this job is it's literally 5 minutes from here to the President's office and back.
I didn't realize that the White House was right across the street, and the headquarters where they live is right there. Does he run over here and you run over?
He doesn't run over here, but I do run over there many times a day. So, Maria, here he is, as you can see, Alexander Hamilton looking down over me every day.
Wow. This has to be inspiring for you.
It is incredibly inspiring.
Yeah. What does it make you think about when you know that Alexander Hamilton had the job first? You are picking up the mantle from these incredible people behind you.
It's a great honor and a great responsibility. And you realize the importance and the seriousness of this job.
And this is your office, are you working largely on the tax reform and rolling back regulations every day in this office?
I'm working on everything here, 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So you can see, Maria, this is the way I come to work every day.
Oh my God.
So it's quite inspirational looking up at this, the Treasury.
Looking at the Liberty Bell, it is inspiring. It gives you chills. This is America.
It is indeed. A lot of history here.
It's true. And do you like living in Washington now?
I love it. Great city.
Because this is a first for you.
It is, absolutely. It's very different from California.
You moved right in seamlessly.
Big move. New York, L.A., Washington, D.C.
Wow, that is great. Well, yeah, it feels like you've brought some spunk to town, I have to say.
Thanks. And thanks for coming again today.
Thank you so much. And our special thanks to Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin.